Grand Hero Battles are tough, right guys? Well, they don't really have to be, and usually any difficulty with them is due to a lack of knowledge and understanding. See, Grand Hero Battles are designed to be beatable, and in many cases even 4 stars can beat them. The key is, as always, knowledge and understanding, and by that I mean understand the enemies involved, their skills, the terrain, and whatever else is on the map. Well, to help you guys beat Grand Hero Battles, I'm going to be breaking down my thinking when I enter one of these battles. Now before I start, be sure to check the description for these points written down and timestamps to skip to various sections of this guide. Alright, let's start. I'm going to be doing this on Inferno for Clarisse, and because I also promised Inferno Clarisse, and well, I guess this is it, and this is a good spin on things, isn't it? Now, before you guys start your Grand Hero Battle, just realize one thing. The first battle, on the highest difficulty at least, you're probably going to lose. And that's alright. The first try, the point is to learn as much as possible, and to take down as many points as possible. So maybe get a pen and paper out and write down what you notice, your ideas, and so on. You can also just check my channel and see how to beat any Grand Hero Battle. But yeah, that's beyond the point of this video. Just some shameless advertising, I guess. Anyways, let's start this. There's really 4 steps that you want to follow in any Grand Hero Battle. Step number 1, identify the skills of all the enemies and keep in mind the terrain. So right away we know the terrain has defensive tiles. And now we're going to look at their skills. Oh, and not just defensive tiles, but you want to look at like blockages. See, I can't go past them. And this one can be broken down. Everything factors in. And as I said earlier, Grand Hero Battles are beatable, so use terrain to your advantage as well. Now going back to the important part, you want to look at every unit and understand their skills and what they're capable of. This Green Cavalier has Grand Raven. Grand Raven makes him really good against colorless foes. And being green mage unit, he's already naturally good at versus blue units, which is even boosted further by Triangle Adept 3. This makes him really powerful against blue units, really powerful against gray units, or colorless units, but really bad against red units. You want to keep in mind things like that. You also want to keep in mind their stats. Attack of 50, speed of 28. So, you know, this unit could be easily double hit and is really bad against physical. All this goes a long way in helping you guys win. Now you want to do that for every hero. This thief doesn't have anything particularly special, but he has quite decent attack, pretty high HP, really quick speed, and he has Death Blow. Death Blow really helps him boost up his damage, and he has Wind Sweep, so in some instances, no follow-ups can occur against him. Alright, moving on. The Sword Cavalier might not seem special at first, but key point is reposition. Reposition allows him to drag back a unit into a safer area, and this can make it a lot more harder to finish a unit off, given that he can pull them back into relative safety. And if they go too far in, you don't want to chase, otherwise everyone can converge on you. Moving on to the main hero of every Grand Hero Battle, in this case, this one is Clarisse. Clarisse's bow, darting blow, Clarisse's bow, if she doesn't hit you, attacks and speed -5, that could be a huge game changer, especially the speed decrease. Darting blow with quick speed, with fairly high speed means she's probably going to double attack any unit. Probably. Poison strike, threaten defense means if you do survive an engagement with her, you're really set back for another turn, and you take that extra 10 damage because of poison strike. Alright, so quickly finishing this, the blue mage, Flare Blade with Water Sweep, so again no follow-ups occur in certain situations. Sword Fighter with Life and Death, so he has high attack, fairly high speed, really high HP I guess. Desperation 3, and this one's pretty key, and it's Panic Ploy 3. I'm using a Horse Emblem team, which means if I keep my Horse Cavalier units in a straight line with him, they take all the bonuses turn into penalties, and that can really mess things up. Alright, That's step number 1, identify the skills and recognize the terrain. Step number 2, look at the kill zones. And I gotta change audio. What do I mean by kill zone? Well, a kill zone is when multiple units can reach the same point. This is a kill zone because Green Cavalier and Thief can both threaten it. Say I wanted to check the Thief and use my Camus to kill him with a counterattack. Well, I guess if I just move my Camus here to illustrate the point, I can't do that. While it will work against the Thief, it would quickly draw out the Green Cavalier that would kill him. Other checks in this stage particular is here, 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 and here, threatened by both Clarisse and the Thief. Technically, the Thief can also break this down, and then the Cavalier can come in as well. So these are checkpoints as well. These are kill zones as well. Now, we want to keep in mind which units are out of battle immediately, and in this case, these two are out of battle immediately. They can't reach any of these spots. So these are not priority. These aren't priority targets, and these shouldn't be worried about yet. Alright, now that you identify the kill zone, you want to figure out what negates them, and then assemble a team that can battle them. In my case, I've already done Grand Hero Battle Clarisse a couple times now, so I already know what to do, and this team's already fully assembled. You want to, so if when you're building your team, you want to keep in mind the weapons triangle, the colors involved, synergy of your team, and counters, as in what you can counter these units for and what their counters are supposed to be. Just keep in mind, if you can't use your best team, then don't. Use a team best suited for beating this Grand Hero battle. Consider skills like Triangle Adept, breaker skills like Bow Breaker for Clarisse, Quick Riposte, Vantage. These skills could be game changers and make things a lot easier. If you don't have these skills on your hero, consider using them. Skills like Bow Breaker is very useful even at level 1. As long as you're over 90% HP, you can use it. So it's at least good for one instance. Other things you want to keep in mind on your team is movement is king. I'm using 3 Cavalier units essentially, and of course Cavalier units can move quite a distance. They can move 3 slots, 3 steps. The other thing about movement is having a movement skill. See, all 3 have reposition. Reposition allows me to pull them back so I can get them out of danger if ever I overstep myself, or I want to attack and pull back, and use another unit for the counterattacker. Additionally, you don't need to use this step, but you should probably use it, is have a dancer or singer in your team. So not really a step, I guess, a hero. In this case, I'm using Azura. The extra step, the extra movement, extra attack turn could be incredibly useful. Alright, let's start this out. The last thing, I guess, is to be patient. Be patient and bait. What I mean by this is, attacking usually involves exposing yourself to multiple avenues of attack. If I push this Camus in after I use, say, Owen to break... If I use Owen to break down this block, and I attack the Red Sword Cavalier, it's already over. Everything can attack him. That's why you typically want to bait your opponents in, and this makes things a lot more manageable. Now, that's not to say don't attack. You should, but just be sure of what you're doing. Alright, so I'm gonna take care of this area with my Xander. The 2 possible units I can threaten are both physical attackers, and Xander has quite high defense. And of course, these 2 can't reach. The reason I don't want him here is because of Panic Ploy, which would kind of mess him up when he has a bonus. I'm also going to tear down this obstacle to let the Sword Cavalier come at my Camus.
What can I do?
Alright, now the plan here is to have Xander counterattack with Quick Riposte on either physical units, draw down the Sword Cavalier to die at my Camus.
Okay.
And yep, that's turn 1 for me, with everything considered. Okay, Xander draws in Clarisse, takes her down quite a bit of HP, and he takes quite a bit of damage too. Of course, Camus can finish the Sword Cavalier. And okay, so now we gotta reevaluate. Every turn, evaluate things. Take things step by step, slow and steady. This Green Cavalier is a priority target because he'll one-shot Camus or Azura and everything's over. this blue mage is also a priority because of Xander, which means I need to get Xander out of here. There's no way he's getting to her. And see, this is not going to work either. The plan is, I'm going to use Camus and break down this thief with his special. And you want to keep in mind the specials of your units as well. Use all the resources that you have. And I can use Owen to take down the sword fighter or Clarisse. And I'm going to prioritize Clarisse. The reason being, it's easier to manage melee units. They only move 2 steps, and of course, they need to be right next to them to attack.
Okay.
So I'll take down this Clarisse first. And then I'll take down this thief. Alright, so again, this sword cavalier is putting me in a really bad position. But that's why I have my Xander. Now I have to get Xander out of the way of this blue mage, and I move him down here. And the sword fighter has no way of reaching my Owen, and I know 33 resistance blue unit means I can survive a blue mage attack. And she's not going to get doubled, see? So she's fine. And moving Xander down puts him in position to attack the green cavalier.
Yes.
Let's go.
And now I've gotten rid of all the major obstacles. And that's fine. Now I can use Owen to defeat the sword fighter.
What can I do?
Never rush things, see? Just check percentages occasionally too. If you can't beat them right away, take your time. Take your time. And yep, that's basically over now. This way, I have multiple avenues of attacking, but as we just saw, Camus can do it. Alright, and that's basically it. So basically, to conclude to you guys, the 4 steps is: number 1, identify the skills of the enemy units and the terrain involved. Utilize the terrain and figure out ways to counter the enemy skills, essentially. Step 2, identify the kill zones and what negates them. So a kill zone, again, is when multiple units can threaten it. So when you build your team, which is step 3, you have a combination on your team that can negate these kill zones, break through, and keep in mind skills such as triangle, such as triangle adept, breaker skills like bow breaker. Also keep in mind the color composition, the synergy of your team, the counters, and then the special skills like quick riposte, vanish. So keep in mind all the skills, the colors, and then you want to consider movement, having the movement like reposition, swap, drawback, so on. And if you can, have a dancer or singer in. So once you have your team ready, just be patient and bait, which is step number 4. And again, you want to bait because attacking usually exposes yourself more to multiple avenues of attack, and that makes things a lot more difficult. Grand Hero Battle is built on taking advantage of those who are impatient. Just be sure of what you're doing, take things slow, and you'll be fine. And yeah, that's basically it. Grand Hero Battles aren't that tough, they just take some time and patience. And if you guys follow these steps, you should be able to beat any Grand Hero Battle in a couple of steps. And yeah, if you guys like this video and want more Fire Emblem Heroes content, give me a like and subscribe. I try and post Fire Emblem Heroes content every day or 2. And I also do other games, if you're interested in that. Oh, this got pretty long, guys. So if you guys are still here, have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.